Ladies and Gentiles, it is I, Dick Thunderlips. This is attempt number 17 to record your Heroes of Fantasy DTF Recaparoo for week 12. Folks, not only is the NFL sick with COVID, the Heroes of Fantasy head offices here have the inner tubes down, folks. So we're on Dick Vision to try to get this through and recorded, and frankly, Espen's just not cooperating either. So I don't know if it's a DNS attack or somebody's attacking your moms. But either way, Dick's trying to get in there hard and fast and get the scoop to you as we enter the playoffs. We're getting to the final four teams, and which teams will be in the Thunderdome. And there's a game today, folks. I don't know what's happening, but Dick's trying to get the scoop to you early. Because frankly, it's like, whose line is that? Whose line is it anyway? Where, the points just don't matter unless they do. And frankly, the game today probably isn't going to matter for the final standard rules. So let's take a look as we roll right along here, folks. Starting off the tippity top of the mountain, we see Jay Sizzle, your reigning champion, currently leading. Again, these scores are not final, but they might be, leading Zachariah 102.9 to 85 as the battle of ineptitude takes a fever pitch here, folks. And as you can see, all these teams, their starters are done. So this is going to be your final score, folks. Jay Sizzle is going to pick up the dub in a battle of ineptitude where Thomas Reginald Brady drops 21. A bunch of poop from his RBs, only 3 deploying a backup of a backup. Ray Gore not doing much. Frankly, a bunch of disappointments abound on Jay Sizzle's team, with one of the only bright spots being Gronk and the Rams D. And that's because Baby Shark and Galladay continue to be on the big O, folks. Meanwhile, Zach's team's been disappointing all year, led by Zeke with 2.9. I don't know what's going on with Dallas. They're a friggin' joke, man. Ronald Jones and T.Y. Hilton finally showing that he wants to be rostered, folks. He's still a trash bag. Zach without Ayuk struggled in this one. Still scored as decently as he could hope. Didn't know Kirk Cousins was going to go off for 26. But even that would not have been enough to climb this mountain. Actually, it might have been. 16 more points would have been damn close. But anyway, sorry about your damn luck, Zach. You both are going to the Thunderdome. Jay Sizzle no longer going to be holding onto that belt, folks. Your reigning champion defeated and no longer in the final four at all. Moving along in what was a burner of a performance by Aldo's Gronk Pirates, outscoring Al by over 100, which is ridiculous, folks. And as we scroll on down, Al doesn't even have an excuse, as all their players have played, folks. It's a sad day when your D gets 0, Al. It's a Saturday when you got 4 from an RB, 8 from an RB, 1 from your tight end. Not much to do anywhere other than Patrick Mahomes scoring 31 trying to carry Al by himself. And it's hurt. It's when you lose C-Mac for the entire year, it's going to do it to you in an auction league, folks. On the other side, Deshaun and Derek Henry just going off, and Chubb's back, and Aldo's looking good. If he even had Chubby all year, might have had a different outcome on this one, folks. 26 for Justin Jefferson in a hot sauce performance, and Devontae Parker starting to like his rook QB. And hey, even Hollywood Brown. Lamar Jackson finally found the guy again. It only took like 10 games. Anywho, awesome performance from Aldo going into the Thunderdome rounds. Both of these teams will be vying to score the most points possible over the final 4 weeks. Aldo should have saved this $1.79 for the Thunderdome, but hey, who is counting, folks? And here we go with Tyree Dean missing his daddy Adrian, but currently leading Freddie. Freddie in the must-win scenario needs to pick up the dub to still be in top 4 contention. But due to tiebreakers, dude, it's not happening. Spoiler, Ricardo's going to win, and he scored 1,000,000 points. Freddie, though, scored a $1.08. He has done... Oh, they're both done as well. So this is going to be a finale of a score of 116 to a $1.08 Freddie with a tough week, needed the dub, didn't get it, and didn't score 200 to get it anything over. Only 3 from Antonio Brown, a disappointing performance. But 4 from Edwards Hilaire, just not what you're looking for, and no one popping off. 15 from the Saints is all you can really hoot about at this juncture. And losing, I think Kittle, so that was on Al's team. Anywho, Thielen out, hurt a little bit here, folks, even though he's been up and down. And losing Mr. Ballage because of the return of Austin Eckler, definitely not what Freddie was looking for here, folks. Meanwhile, Tyree, not missing Adrian this week, but boy is he missing a suitable second RB, because only 4 from Damian Harris, 10 from Raheem Mostert, and this dude, Lamar Jackson. Oh, wait, never mind. Oh, Baltimore, Pittsburgh must be over. Dick's behind all the times, folks. Ooh, like in a time warp. That explains why these are mostly final scores then. Anyway, up and down and top and bottom, Amari Cooper with 23 and 60 from Kelsey and 15 from the Big Dolphins was just enough to get him over the hump, folks. So even without Lamar Jackson, Carson Wentz dropped 18, got Tyree a meaningless win, but a big win for putting the nail in Freddie's coffin, folks. Freddie going to take that L and be knocked out of the Final Four as both these teams get ready for the Thunderdome. And in the hottest of hot sauce of matchups, folks, Ricky G and Steven Naramore in the game that would define who's going to the Final Four, who's dropping to the Thunderdome. And it was a tough one for Steven Naramore. He was in the driver's seat. He just needed to win, and he was in. He scored a $135, did more than enough normally to pick up a dub. As you can see, he would have torched most of these jabrones earlier, most of these jackwagons. But no, Ricky G said, hold my beer, I'm going to drop 200. A $194.94 for good measure, like a radio station. Tune it in, because that's all Ricky needed to not only get this dub, but become the 4th seed in your top 4 for the playoffs to become your champion, folks. So a huge win from Ricky G. As we take a look, Steven Naramore, 15 from Josh Allen, 35 from Fuller, set the tone, and 25 from Latavius Murray in a surprise performance. You expect to get a gooser out of him. Debo Samuel on the bench for 24. Still wouldn't have been enough because Ricky G just popped off. And how did he pop off? Well, he's got elected A-Rod with 25. The rest of the trade, Cooper Kupp with 6, 3 from Reed. Didn't get it done, but you gotta love those A-Rod points. 26 from James Robinson. A solid 18, a solid 18, a solid 57.9. Folks, Tyreek Hill almost outscored L by himself. 57.9, L scored 78. That's how you do it. In the hottest of hot sauce of all the performances of all of the year, the highest scoring one comes in a week when Ricky G needs it. He was only going to lose, get knocked out of the playoffs if he lost. No, he had to win. If Naramore wins, he's in. If Ricky G would have won this, Danny Boy would need to outscore him by like 100. It was crazy. Freddie would have had to outscore. It's dumb. Tiebreakers abound, folks. He went off when he needed it, and now he's in, folks. A dangerous-looking team, nipping at the heels. This is not who CJ wants to play round 1, but sorry about your damn luck, CJ. Speaking of CJ, he's gonna squeak it out, it looks like, against Adrian. There was a chance that Adrian was gonna pick up a dub here. He just needed Roethlisberger to give him some juice. But Roethlisberger only scored 12, it looks like. So 116 to 106 is gonna give C Jizzle a beautiful 11-1 season, only marred by Steven Naramore, folks. The man he almost played in the beginning of the playoffs instead of face Ricky G. Adrian can't be sad about the L, though. Tyree misses him. He's in the playoffs with a chance to recapture the title, this time on his own. Let's take a look. Disappointing RB performances from Adrian, but getting 20 from Goddard, 17 from the Washington D, 16 from Scary Terry and 10 from DJ Moore set the tone in what was a questionably solid week with a buck 06. 16 from Matty Stafford, 13 from Jamal, who looks like he might be more trustable than these other hooligans that Adrian has deployed. And going in there hard and fast, CJ, a very, very tough week for the Cardinals, which is CJ's bread and butter. But boy, he didn't need it. This is the perfect time for them to flounder. CJ is going to save their juice for next week. Kyler Murray with his worst 7-point performance of the year and only 10 from D Hop. With that, you think CJ be out for the count. But no, folks, because Dave Montgomery decided to have a game all of a sudden. Despite the Bears getting blown up, his return was good for 25. 16 for CJ's boyfriend Keenan Allen, 15 for Robert Woods, and Jacoby Myers continues to produce better than zeros for CJ. Not much doing on the bench other than CJ misses DeAndre Swift probably. And, he won't mind having Mark Andrews back, but he did get a fluke 13 from Kyle Rudolph. Oof. C Jizzle picking up the dub with 116. Beautiful season. Goes in as the number one seed, but can he dethrone the hot sauce Ricky G? And you know what? Adrian's going to have to face Crystal right off the bat, folks. Spoiler. We'll see how Crystal did in a minute as we've got Matt Segovia picking up the dub over Oscarito. Get your thunder lips off Matt as he doesn't touch his lineup. He doesn't touch it, folks. ESPN sent out all these kinds of alerts, all this nonsense. If you don't touch your lineups, then Taysom Hill could chill in your tight end spot. And that's what Matt did, folks. He didn't, not much he could have done. He might have played slightly different players in some other slots, but he said it was worth it. And boy, was it. Taysom Hill scoring 17. Justin Herbert was 16. A huge 24 from Kenyon Drake. And a big old 28 from Jarvis Landry. Out of nowhere, folks. Gives Matt the juice. A buck 37 to overcome the Professor, who had a disappointing Derek Carr 0.6. Don't know what happened to Vegas, folks. Leonard Fournette, bad day. AJ Brown still producing. We got like Mike Evans' resurgence, but it's like a crapshoot, baby. In Tampa Bay, you never know who's gonna get the Brady juice or who's gonna get the gooser this week. It was Mr. Antonio Brown not doing much, while Evans got some rewards. 16 for the Steelers D in a big old day here, folks. But it just did not matter at all. This was it. 17 for Adrian Peterson on the bench. It's tough year for both teams. Segovia really cleaned it up here, but can he continue to ride the Taysom Hill tight end wagon? I don't know when Breezy's coming back, but we'll see, folks. He could be a Titan in the Thunderdome. And the Professor looking to lick the wounds. He'll get back in there as we move along. In the final matchup, it was a must-win for Danny Boy. Let's just say he mustn't win. He did not. He needed to win and win by like 1,000,000 points to possibly get in the playoffs. It didn't happen. The Force is female, gets one more win. She'll go in to the playoffs and face Adrian as the 2 and 3 seeds clash. And as we see here, disappointing week from Russell Wilson, but DK Metcalf continues to be the best wide receiver in the universe, pretending like he's Megatron. 27 points, folks. Not much else going on. 19 from Robbie and 17 from Calvin Ridley. 14 from James Wade, the bench. And this ghost player with 0. This guy named Empty. Get your act together, Crystal. Unacceptable from a playoff team having empty bench spots. You deserve one of these dudes to get hurt. That's all I got to say about that. Anywho, on the Danny Boy side, trades paying dividends, folks. 3 points for Cam Newton, 0 for Julio Jones, who went out right before the game. Danny Boy didn't get a deployment in time. Wouldn't have mattered, sadly, as no one else did much ado about anything. Disappointing days all around for most of the dudes on this team, other than Antonio Gibson scoring 36 trying to set the tone like it was going to be a good week, folks. Solid day from those Houston Texans down here. But, but that was about it. And can we talk for a minute, just a minute, about the effect that Taysom Hill has had on Alvin Kamara? Because it's pretty gross, folks. Alvin Kamara, folks, the greatest running back in the history of running backs, has two catches since Taysom Hill is your quarterback for -2 yards. Let that settle in, folks. This guy who has 7, 5, 9, 8, 8, 13 catches, bread and butter, making honey, butter, suddenly has 1 catch. So, yeah, we're going to need Breeze to come back, for Kamara to come back. And, that's not all, folks. Because, frankly, let's dig a little deeper and just see what this honeydew has in the middle of it for us as we take a gandaroo into the life and times of Alvin Kamara. Just need this little box score here. Hold on your hats, folks, when you see New Orleans rushing. Kamara with 11, Taysom Hill with 10 carries, Murray with 19 touchdowns. Cool. 2 for Taysom Hill, 2 for Murray, and 0 for Kamara. So, yeah, cool, man. So basically, since Mr. Hill came to town, Kamara's like the worst RB in the league. Cool, bro. Just what Danny Boy needed. Dick's gonna hide behind this veil of uncertainty and sadness as Danny Boy is ushered to the Thunderdome and Crystal heads to the Final Four. I'm sure, obviously, things will turn around if Breeze will just please, Lord, come back. Let's take a looky-loo real quick. Actually, we can't right now. Sorry, we can't look at the standings and stuff. Nothing's updated yet. This is a special early edition of your fantasy report. Anywho, so there you have it, folks. Your Final Four is formed. Everyone else will be in the Thunderdome battling it out. Whatever you score over the final 4 weeks will be your final score. We'll be giving you an ongoing tally of your points. The highest scoring team is the Thunderdome champion, and the lowest scoring team is the ultimate loser in the league. Zach's got a chance to redeem. It doesn't matter that he's last here. It matters who's last in the Thunderdome. And with that in mind, folks, Dick's out, baby.